So Abraham Lincoln said, a man is about as happy as he chooses to be. And I've taken that to heart. And a lot, probably a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I did the Complaint Project, which my buddy Mike Ruman has an app on that, and it's a Facebook group. And basically, I did part of that where I had a bracelet on my wrist, and every time I complained, my kids, my wife, anybody would tell me to take it off. And that would mean if I'm not wearing that bracelet, it means I complained. And I got to the point where I could go days and days and days without a complaint coming out of my mouth, and it radically changed my life. And so I was reading through another one of I'm just forgetting the author of this book. I think it's John Gordon, and it was Soup Inc. was the book, or I think it was just Soup. And I'm like, I really like that book, so I looked up some more of his books that he's written, and then I found the No Complaining Rule. So that is why we're going through this. And but even before I read this book, sorry, I'm looking down at my notes to see if I was forgetting anything about the book in there. But before I even started reading this book, and that was probably about 6-7 months ago, it hit me. And I'd been thinking there, why do people complain? Why do I complain? And the reason is obviously something happens that we don't like. So there are only 3 real outcomes to negative thoughts in your head. The first one is that it's a problem, but the solution to the problem is more painful than the problem, which actually means it is not a problem. And I'm going to look at my notes here again. The second one is there is no solution to the problem. So if you just hate the sun and you can't move from Colorado, there is no solution to the problem. Or if whatever it is, if the second option is there is no solution to the problem. So first option is the solution is more painful than the problem itself, which actually means it's not a problem. The second one is there is no solution to the problem. So there's absolutely no point in complaining about either of those first 2. Third option is there is a solution to the problem, and the solution is worth accomplishing to get rid of that problem. And that's the only time it is really worth it to voice a complaint ever, I think. So then you voice it, but you voice it with a solution or with a plan to finding a solution. So that was all stuff that I had thought about before I even found this book. And now I found this book, and there's a couple things. I went through the first 8 chapters. It took me a half hour on Audible, so the chapters are short. But I wrote down some notes for it, and one of the things is the author, John Gordon, he almost lost his wife because he complained too much and his wife couldn't handle it, and it just years and years of complaining, and that's one of the things he talks about. And that was a huge wake-up call to him on how much his complaining can affect other people's lives. And that's one of the things he said in those first few chapters is that the 2 biggest things that kill work culture are jerks and complainers. And you might think the jerks are the people that are causing problems, are the bigger issue when it comes to productivity or just culture, and they're not. It's complaining. It is negativity in the workplace, and complaining is the number 1 killer of culture, and it is the number 1 killer of productivity. And it's the way he compared it to, and I totally agree, is a jerk, someone who's like a jerk, it's like a topical cancer, something you can see, something that because you can see it, it's easy to get rid of. Whereas complainers, people who, they might be the nicest person on the planet, but when they complain, they drag other people in with them, and I've seen it happen. It doesn't matter how nice of a person you are, how much you accomplish, how much you sell. If you complain, you bring down the people around you. So if you're in a position where you're in charge of other people, then it is really important to help those people who are complaining to just change that attitude. It'll better their life in and outside of work. If you are that person complaining, my guess is that you probably don't realize how much it brings down the people around you. But you can walk into a room, you can see people talking and having fun, and as soon as the complainer starts complaining, everyone else's attitude changes, and you see other people start to complain as well, and it completely changes the culture of the room. So that's huge. I'm trying to see if I missed anything else here. Nope. So that is all. That's about what I got out of those first ones. I want to hear what everyone else thinks about that. So comment below, please, and I will be posting one of these hopefully every day. And feel free to post a video, your comments, whatever you want.